There's a lot less stuff here than before.
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let any lingering effects of the abyss go untreated.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the Pyro Archon told me about your plan. Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine you one by one. All right, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I'll perform another checkup in a couple of days. I have to say, though, I've never seen...
She's always been special like that. She can even purify its power.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
Of course. I still have patients to see, so I'll head out.
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might not see eye to eye. Just give it time. I'm sure...
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. The devastation in the Night Kingdom. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Huh? No.
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated 500 years ago.
Mualani told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the Abyss. Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines. The battle against the Abyss, even then, and still. The problems immediately out, but at that time, our civilization was if we didn't so, the Archon.
So that after finding Gachina, I encountered a strange fix since the plan was mentioned in those but there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. Huh? But that doesn't make any sense! The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been a god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together as one. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like—
So that means I'm one of the Chosen?
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going to pick from each tribe?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the sacred flame and the Wyab has been blocked.
Just like how the...
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using it if we want to unblock... So, Currently, Shilonen of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wyab, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this? Wouldn't that make everything go a lot faster?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a sense of obligation.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final two heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development. I can only trust in the judgment of the Wyab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this far. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us. You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
Huh? Oh, right! All the stuff you stored here before, where did it all go?
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back from the Night Kingdom. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose: fuel.
Fuel? So back then, that's why you...
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of Natlan. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited, but together their combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open. It was a rather crude approach.
But... That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the...
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all... And then, besides, when those here... If they knew those items helped save...
Even when you put it that way...
The people and the event, if you still have regret, your deeds will become new
Well...
Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victim, and we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus...
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing...
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your judgment. All right. You should head out. I'll join you in a bit.
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warriors from all over Natlan. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all hot spring buddies together. It's been really nice seeing the children of my tribe get older. It's helped me gradually understand the true value of the springs. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute passion for life. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. It's unbelievable how quickly they worm their way back into my good graces. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise the Abyss is a cunning enemy. My rage will never know absolution, and my power will know. But you came to me because you knew you could I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna die?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make, and she deserves our support. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis. Oh, seriously though, Dad should be here. Where is he?
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Don't take it to heart, my dear. That's just who he is. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone. The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next tragedy.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us what it means to love.
Who will be the one to bring this to an end?
We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire, the lifeblood of our nation.
You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. I was about to leave, actually. No, it's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back. It's just... Well, I'll make things awkward if I'm around my sister right now.
Ah, well, you two had a fight, so Paimon can understand.
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information about the Abyss.
That's good. That's all I needed to know.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but now it's like you're holding something back.
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but I did it for a reason. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control sometimes. I had no idea what you might face in the Night Kingdom, so I didn't want to take any chances.
So what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. It helps her keep her cool for a little while. Anyway.
What do you...
No way. Chaska never opens up I appreciate... Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind their argument? In the end, it's all the...
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina! Woohoo!
Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad I finally made it.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a great future ahead of you.
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your team.
I had no choice. My friend invited me. I couldn't just say no.
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead in the first round?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild, so I stopped to bandage his wounds. When he insisted on repaying the...
But the fact of the matter... I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong.
It's amazing.
So,
Our team captain.
All right. Dear friends, firstly,
I'm grateful to my friend. This traveler and her companion Paimon are some of the strong. They've agreed to let me learn from them. And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Dion-san. They all helped the traveler and Paimon. They too deserve to be called our heroes. So, please get...
Well said!
I'll drink to that.
How does it feel?
To be honest...
Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated champion!
Hey, please don't...
You're here. Have some fruit juice. I got it specially for you two.
How did you know? That's Paimon's favorite!
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away. Because they had their own lives to live. The thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time, for in 500 years Natlan will be destroyed, it seemed too cruel. You could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. But life is short. And beyond a point, it just doesn't seem real. Imagine if I said, let's leave right now and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. It would sound quite ridiculous. I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. The plan could still work without them. Or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who came up with the plan, I felt duty-bound to see it through to the end.
Paimon's suddenly remembering that portrait in your room. Was that your family from back then?
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my sister grew up to be, the truth is that very little information survives. From what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with a reasonable degree of confidence she played an instrumental role in Still, it was an impressive achievement, and I'm very proud of her. You feel loss keenly. It seems this is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already far. The people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the way—
Yeah,
I suppose, even if the future ends in destruction, and this is a pivotal moment. Well, 3, to be precise. There's one further. You're resistant if you agree.
Ancient.
They can. Possessing the Ode of Resurrection, just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there.
Yeah, we can.
Wonderful. We've never fought.
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to seize the Gnosis.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. She simply chose not to. You don't have much time, And you're injured on top of that. What do you plan?
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
Guess we can rest a bit.